watching KWQC-TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, a visit from Tiffany's for a live recipe demonstration and a closer look at several upcoming cooking workshops and festive holiday events. And speaking of recipes, you'll want to include ingredients from a spotted apron in your next dish. We'll learn more about this Geneseo business offering everything from oil and vinegar to spices and gifts. Plus, we're preparing to kick off the 39th Festival of Trees. More on what makes this annual Quad Cities tradition so special and how it benefits an important local organization. Welcome. You are watching Quad Cities Live. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier. Kyle is officially on paternity leave. We'll have more on that exciting news a little bit later in the show. Today, though, we are kicking things off with one of our adoptable four-legged friends. Vicki Sanders with Animal Aid Humane Society in Moline is joining us in the studio now. Vicki, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And who do we have with you today?
This is Chester. He's a neutered male, about 5 years old. You know, he's a very sweet cat.
He's very sweet.
And he gets along with cats tremendously.
Are you looking at me?
So,
yeah.
Not sure about dogs, but he's laid back. He loves attention.
Okay, so we know that he gets along with other cats.
Yep.
He's like a teenager, right, or something at 5 years old.
Or a young adult.
A young adult.
Yeah.
And he's a bigger guy too.
Yeah, he's probably about 12 pounds.
Yeah, he's really sweet, and he specifically requested to come and sit on the tall table today so that he could just make the best impression. So he's one of the cats that you guys have at the shelter right now.
Right.
How's capacity at this point?
We're full. You
Okay.
know, it's really sad because, you know, of course I tell people that if they adopted the cat from us or dog, that we try to help out. But when you're full, you just don't have a place to put them. So,
Right.
you know, I do have a waiting list, and hopefully they don't just throw them out on the street because they said they had to move and couldn't take them with.
Yeah, it's not the only animal shelter that is dealing with this right now.
Right.
I feel like that's all we're hearing is that everyone is at capacity, everyone's asking for help. So one way that people can help out, even if they can't necessarily adopt, they can foster. Is that something you can do through your shelter?
Sure, that would be fine.
Okay.
Be a foster home for cats, dogs, kittens, you know, or puppies, and it does help if we don't have a place to put them. At least if they foster them, they help out that way.
Yeah, and you never know who you meet when you're a foster. I mean, you could post something on social media and adopt that way. So that is one thing to do. You also talked about the need for volunteers as well.
Right. Yes, we're there every morning, feeding, cleaning, you know, medical transportation for the vets, and you know, it's just 365 days a year. So. We at the shelter need a little extra help would be great. So instead of just sitting home, you know, doing nothing, if they want something to do, they can come and exercise at the shelter.
Yeah, it's just another way to help out, especially around the holidays too. I think sometimes people are looking for different ways to give back, and this is definitely
we have a few families that holidays will come in and help out because kids are not in school, and they come down and help.
That's great.
They'll do a room. You know,
I think he likes the studio life. He keeps looking up.
Yeah,
at them.
his owner got evicted and lost his job, and told him, you know, we'd hold him for a while, but he hasn't come to get him. So.
Oh my goodness, Chester.
I was hoping he would get a job.
He is so super duper sweet. So talk to me about this Purina bag that you brought with you today.
The Purina donated some bags for adoptions that we do, and this one is for dogs, and if they adopt a cat, then we got cat things in the bag. We can put in the bag for them, but for every adoption they get a bag that was donated by Purina.
And it has a few goodies in it?
Yeah, and then we may even add some to them. So.
Oh, very nice. So just one more small incentive there. So one thing that we kind of touched on last time you were in studio with us is construction on a new shelter.
Right.
So that is, that's in the works right now.
Yeah, it's official. We have the land. Now we got to get builders lined up to build the shelter. And of course it's going to be a big process to get that the way we want it, and so we're involved in that. So if anybody would like to donate some money for, say they got taxes, they need to donate some to help with that taxes, then they can help us with our shelter.
Okay, so just a campaign essentially underway right now to help you guys get everything that you need to
Any
build that
questions,
shelter.
they could just give us a call.
Okay,
thank you.
amazing.
So-
Yeah, and there's a lot of information as well, I noticed, on your website.
Right.
So if people are curious about the project as a whole, that is somewhere that you can go. If you want to learn more about this organization, you can also follow on Facebook or go to MolineAnimalAid.org. Vicki and Chester. Chester, you're so handsome. You did such a good job today. Thank you so much for being
Well,
here.
thank you for having us.
Yes,
thank
you. Well, up next on QCL, Tiffany's Restaurant is taking over our QCL kitchen for our November series, Tasty with Tiff. We'll check out multiple recipes to keep everybody happy during holiday festivities.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
We are back in the QCL kitchen today with our November series, Tasty with Tiff. Simple holiday recipes from a restaurant owner. It's been a lot of fun over these last several weeks. And Tiffany Cannon is the owner of Tiffany's in downtown Davenport, and she is back with us today. Tiff, welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here and just going all out as you do. It's what you and Emma do is incredible.
Yeah,
it looks
thank you.
beautiful
Thank
here in
you.
the kitchen. Yes, we're feeling very festive and very holiday. Today, though, I love this topic. We're going to focus on what to eat before you eat.
What to eat before you eat, because people come over
hungry.
and you're going to graze, you're going to drink, you're going to graze, you're going to mingle, you're going
Yes.
to talk, and you don't want to just plop down and eat. You want to have a little something.
Yeah, grazing is the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, so these recipes are all from my mom, and they translate into everything. So these would all work for
Any holiday.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, literally anything. Summer,
Perfect.
all of them. So.
Okay, well, let's start with a cocktail.
Okay.
Usually we end with a cocktail. It's Monday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, I think if you're in the kitchen, you should be drinking
You should
and
always
cooking,
have,
right?
yeah, a glass of
So
something.
this is this is our holiday punch. Okay, so
Okay.
it's got 2 bottles of prosecco or 2 bottles of Moscato in there already.
Okay.
Do you want to pour 1 cup of vodka in there
Yes.
for me? And I'm going to. Sorry.
Happy New Year.
There's your.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm like,
do
you want me to eyeball that?
Yeah, we're just gonna pour that in there. So it's got 2 bottles of Prosecco, 2 bottles of Moscato, 1 bottle of Prosecco.
Okay.
And then we're going to add, so this is really, really, really festive. And we're not going to add any ice to it because we want it to be really nice and strong.
Okay.
And so this is 2 cups of
Yes, we do.
pomegranate juice and then 2 cups of cranberry. Do you want to pour that in?
Yes, pomegranate and cranberry sounds so good.
It's like the quintessential holiday flavor. to me.
Pomegranate.
Yeah. And then we're going to put some orange slices in just to make it really pretty.
Yes.
And then some rosemary because.
Oh, I love that.
Do you love that?
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Tis the season,
Yeah.
right? And then instead of ice, we froze our cranberries.
Okay.
And so we're just going to go ahead
glove.
and put all of the.
Oh, all of them?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll help you here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have a
sure,
spoon.
no problem. And we're going to throw all of those. How pretty is that, though, Morgan?
It's
Do you like
beautiful.
that?
Yes, I love
Do you
it.
want to take that and give it a little stir so we don't
Yes.
get all vodka in it? I mean, even if we did, though, that might be okay.
Be okay. Be okay.
And then we have some ice in our glasses. And I'm just, so this is super, how fast was that, Morgan?
That was really fast.
So you can make that for your friends.
Oh, thank you.
You can go to Aldi's and get all of the Prosecco
This
if
is
you don't
so
want to spend
cute.
a ton of money because, you know, the economy right
so
now.
you put like a rimmer, is it like a brown sugar? Or
Oh,
what is
yeah,
it?
I did cinnamon and sugar.
Cinnamon and
Cheers.
sugar. Cheers.
Yeah, so drink this, make this, drink it while you're making the food. That way it's
Wow.
ready.
Yeah, that's good.
In a good way, wow?
Yes. Yes, in a good way. Wow.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
that
great.
good. Okay, great.
Okay.
So the next recipe I want to show you guys is my mom's classic cheese dip, and it's so easy. All of you guys should make it. It's got 3 ingredients. It's got 1 cup mayo. It's really easy. 1 chopped Vidalia onion and 1 cup shredded mozzarella. And that
Okay.
is it.
Look at that.
Is that so easy?
Yes.
It's like crack in a bowl. It's like crack cocaine. You're going to take your cracker and eat the crack. So you want to make, all you do is you mix that up and you put it in some sort of baking vessel. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, this is just a bowl we had at the restaurant. And you're going to bake that at 375 for 20 to 40.
Okay.
Until it looks
Brown on top.
brown. You'll be able to smell it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really good. My mom also.
3 ingredients with that. Right?
And I'm telling you, it is the best thing you'll stick in your mouth
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
Great.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had that. I mean, we've had that for decades, my mom's recipe. And then she also makes meatballs, if you guys are interested in making meatballs. So her meatballs are really easy as well. But the one thing I do want to show you today is the pull-apart bread.
Yes.
Are you good with a knife?
No.
No, okay, then I'll cut.
That's okay.
So,
We could still try it, but no.
yeah. I went and got this. I did not make this.
Okay.
I'm not making it. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So I went and bought this, and then everybody, there's no shame in your game if you need to buy it.
Oh, you mean the entire loaf of bread?
Yes, I did not
I wouldn't
make the bread.
expect that.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to start by cutting the bread on a diagonal. So you can see we've cut it both ways on the diagonal.
Okay.
And we have 1 stick of butter here, 6 cloves of garlic.
Yum.
And some parsley. So do you want to mix that together, and I'll finish cutting the bread?
Mix these ingredients together?
Yep. So put
all in here?
Yeah, put the garlic in there. So when you're cutting your bread on the diagonal, you just want to make sure you don't cut all the way through, because if you cut all the way through, then you're going to be in trouble, right?
Okay, yeah, your ingredients will all seep through. And
Yeah, then it's going to go all over. Go ahead, yep, and put your parsley in there.
Okay,
And then go ahead and mix that.
great.
Ooh, yeah.
It's fun. It smells good in here.
It does. It's real garlicky.
Yes.
So go ahead and take that, Morgan. We're just going to spread that all over the bread.
Okay. With the spoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, you can use a pastry brush if you want to, but quite honestly, who's got a pastry brush lying around? Do you?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, we have never used it, so now I know what I can use it for.
I don't even have one of those at home.
I can make pull-apart bread.
I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is just kind of spread that open and make sure you get it in the cracks and the crevices, because we want all that butter and all of that yummy garlic to get down in there. And we use salted butter for this recipe. When you're baking, you normally want to use unsalted.
I was going to ask, I mean, every recipe, it always seems to call for unsalted butter. Why is that?
Well, when you're baking, you want to be able to control the amount of salt that you're using, and every manufacturer of butter puts a different amount of salt.
Got it.
And so you want to be able to control that. So it's just better to do unsalted. That's great. That looks wonderful.
All right.
Now what we're going to do, we're going to take the cheese. So this is our cheese. And we have 1½ cups of shredded mozzarella, 1½ cups of shredded cheddar, and 1/4 cup of Parmesan. That Parmesan is like, it goes so nicely.
Tangy.
Yeah, it's kind of salty and tangy. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna just shove this all over in the bread, on top of the bread, in every crack and crevice. And that's what's gonna make it cheesy. And when you pull it apart, you're gonna get all of that cheese coming off of it.
The finished product, I mean, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's like amazing.
I wish everybody could smell it, because it smells like so good. And I'm a firm believer in you can never have enough cheese.
Okay, good.
Do you
Me
like
too.
cheese?
Yes. Yes.
Like a lot?
If I could, yeah.
Okay, then you're
like
allowed
that
to.
much.
Yeah, that's great. Then what we want to do is take the bacon and shove it down in there too. Do you like bacon?
Yes.
Who doesn't?
I made bacon for Darby yesterday.
Oh, you did? Does she like bacon?
She does, yeah.
She might like this then.
I think she would. She's a little picky if she sees anything green in anything.
So we're going to shove all of that in there, get in those nooks and crannies, get that bacon down in there, get that cheese down in there, and then we're going to hit it with some green onion.
Perfect.
On top. And then what we want to do is we want to wrap this in foil. Okay. So your oven should be at 375, and we're going to wrap it in foil, and we're going to bake it for 35 minutes. And then we're going to unwrap it and bake it for an additional, I think, 10 minutes, 20
uncovered?
minutes? Yep, uncovered. And what you want to happen, you want that cheese to get nice and brown and gooey and stringy and just delicious.
Lovely.
And your whole house will smell like a little bit of garlic cheese heaven. And then this is what it looks like.
It sounds great. Yeah, this is the finished product here.
Yeah.
Beautiful, and just like easy for people to just grab and eat.
Yeah, can you see people like getting a drink, standing around, having a meatball, having some cheese, having some pull-apart bread, talking about their day, talking about what they plan to do for the holidays, and just kind of having a good time, right?
Yeah, and well, you make it look so easy. You really do. I mean, you have brought us some very 1, 2, 3 type of recipes, but like you wouldn't know it by like looking at it. Like it looks difficult.
Right. If you took this to the office, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" Right?
Yeah.
any of these.
Maybe I will if we do our little potluck here, take it to the office. And we should mention as well, all the recipes that we kind of touched on today, we're going to make those available on our website as well. So the meatballs, they have a beautiful sauce with them that Tiff didn't really get to get into today, but we have the recipe for that as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Tiffany's restaurant is located at 210 East 2nd Street in downtown Davenport. We got the phone number there on your screen along with the website, easytiffany's.com. And there you can find the food, drink menus, along with multiple upcoming events and workshops. She's got a whole lot of stuff going on.
Santa Claus is
November
coming.
and December. Santa
Sunday.
Claus is coming.
Bring Darby on Saturday at 11.
Saturday at 11.
Santa will be there with Mrs. Claus.
I'll be there, along with everybody else that just heard. No, that's good. We need to promote that, don't we? Okay, up next on QCL, a preview of what is to come for the 39th Quad City Arts Festival of Trees. The fun kicks off later this week, and we'll learn more about what ticket holders can expect to see and do as we embrace the holiday season.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The countdown is on for the 39th Quad City Arts Festival of Trees. The event officially opens to the public this Saturday with so much to see and take part in. And here with everything we need to know is Sandy Burichter, Quad City Arts Festival of Trees coordinator this year. Sandy, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time. Lots to get to and talk about. This is really such a tradition for people all across the QCA and beyond taking part in this. Festival of Trees is closing in now on 4 decades, so 39 years. This is just such a big deal to people here in our community.
It is, and you know, 39 years, you know, nothing lasts 39 years.
It's a long
right?
time, yeah.
But it is all because of the volunteers. We have volunteers that have been there helping for 20, 30 years. In fact, our Grand Marshal this year is Pat Wolford, and she's been with us 35 years.
Yes.
It's just crazy, but it's all about the volunteers and people coming together. The whole community supports us.
Yes, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that make this happen, and we'll be sure to touch on that too before we end the segment, because there are still some opportunities if that's something that people might be interested in. Let's start though with this year's theme, Merry and Bright. So talk about how that's playing into everything.
So Merry and Bright, everything in there is shiny, it is bright, lots of lights, lots of colors. We have some new things this year, and we're really excited about that. You know, it's always something to put new on the floor so people can have a reason to come back. So we have some great photo ops this year because we've put new things on the floor. We have some new designers coming in. It's different. It's going to be different this year.
Yeah, a little bit different, which really gives everybody something to look forward to, you know, when there's just that little thing where you're like, maybe I haven't seen this before. So talk a little bit before we move on about Quad City Arts and how the Festival of Trees every year just really works to support the Quad City Arts organization. I mean, this is, you know, one of the biggest fundraisers that propels, you know, all the work that you do at Quad City Arts.
Absolutely, absolutely. The work that we do and the money we raise goes to support our visiting artist series. And that brings the performing artist into area schools and organizations. You know, exposes the community to different cultures, different music. Just, it's really important, especially to our schools.
Yes, at a time when I think a lot of schools nationwide, I'm not speaking specifically about the Quad Cities, have been seeing different cuts to different things like arts and things like that. You know, we have this great organization right here in the Quad Cities that is working to immerse students and different other organizations, senior centers and community centers in the arts. And it's great that it's not only been able to be something that Quad City Arts has kept going, but it's also growing.
Yes, it is.
Year.
Yes, it is.
Thanks to events like this one. Okay, so let's talk specifically about the River Center and what people can see inside. If you have never participated before, bought a ticket to check out Festival of Trees, I think a lot of people would be wowed. There are all kinds of displays.
There are. And, you know, we work really hard on our facility decor. The trees and the designs are the focus, but we like to throw our own little wow factor in as well. And this year people are going to be really surprised. So we have trees, wreaths, room vignettes, We have, oh goodness, what else do we have? We have a train. You know, that's something that's really popular with families, is the train.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing a little bit of video from, you know, years past. This is from last year, where you can kind of take a peek at what some of the trees look like. There's the trains that you were just talking about. What I think is really cool about the trees is you may even recognize, in fact, you'll probably recognize many of the people that have, or individuals or businesses that have put together and decorated a tree for this event. And it is so cool to see what people come up with.
Oh my gosh.
And inspirational. And I mean, if you totally fall in love with it, a lot of times there's an opportunity to purchase that tree or bid on that tree, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the trees, we're going to have an online bidding site.
Okay.
And some of the trees and some of the items will be raffle items.
That's
so
awesome.
So you can buy a raffle ticket for $1 and you can win a tree that's, you know, been valued at $600, $700, $800. It's fantastic.
It is. It's a really cool opportunity. So we want to touch on some of the events as well with this entire exciting time. It kicks off with the parade on Saturday. So this is a very big deal for the community. I mean, we've got the helium balloons going on. It's a great holiday parade that TV6 is broadcasting, as we do every single year. The night before is the premiere party, and then the next day you wake up and you head to the parade. Right now we're seeing some video of that. The marching bands, the really cool helium balloons. I have a little insight, and I've heard there are several new helium balloons or floats this year that people have to look forward to.
There are.
So this is really exciting, and brings a lot of people out, even if it's just frigid cold.
Yes,
they get excited about it. Just bundle up.
I myself have been out there in short sleeves, and I've been out there with bundled up in coats and parkas. So.
We have. It's the same for St. Patrick's Day, isn't it? Other events that are happening, though, beyond what's going on, you know, inside with all the decor and everything, we have the Teddy Bear Tea that is happening next week. The Sugar Plum Ball, which you're seeing on your screen, my daughter has started taking part in that since last year or the year before. It is super duper fun for all the little ones. We talked about the holiday parade. The Celebrity Lunch, also benefiting Quad City Arts. This is a really great event to get involved in. And then there's the Silent Disco, which we're hearing more and more about, and that event on November 30th.
Absolutely.
So what is planned for that? It's just you purchase tickets and you go and you put the headphones on and...
Yep, we have 3 different DJs. And they all play a different kind of music, and they all have, if you tune into them, one may be green, one may be blue, one may be orange.
That's right.
And so you can just dance your way through, and you can watch what everybody else is doing, and, you know, just totally have a good time.
That's very cool. Yeah, you guys are able to get silent disco a lot of times, even like we've had alternating currents and things like that. People just really love it. So consider that. One thing we wanted to mention is you're going cashless this year. Trying to go cashless this year. So people want to help you out and make sure that that happens. All they need to do is just make sure they purchase tickets ahead of time.
Yeah, that'd be great. You can go to qcfestivaltrees.com and click on tickets, and you can purchase your tickets online. Absolutely.
Easy peasy. Just try and do it online and you know, help them go cashless this year. And then finally, that brings us back to volunteers. You have so many wonderful volunteers, but you're always looking for additional help, people that want to get involved. So what kinds of things can volunteers expect to be doing, and how can they sign up to help out?
Well, this year during setup, we had close to 100 people volunteering to build the walls, to move the crates, to do all of this.
Wow.
But it takes over 2,000 volunteers to cover every shift at Festival of Trees. You can help with reindeer games, you can volunteer to help at admissions. There's so many opportunities, so many ways you can just jump in. You get a free ticket. Every day there's a drawing, a daily drawing. And at the end, if you volunteer, your name's put in for a grand prize drawing.
A grand prize drawing for volunteers.
Yes.
That is wonderful, and just a nice little incentive for the folks that really wanted to help out anyways. So very cool. Well, if you want to learn more about the Festival of Trees, purchase tickets, or sign up to be a volunteer, visit qcfestivaloftrees.com. And that quick reminder, the KWQC is broadcasting the Festival of Trees Holiday Parade live this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. So if you can't make it down to the parade in person, you can watch it right here on TV6. Sandy, wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, much more to come in our next half hour of Quad Cities Live, including a house call from the electric doctor. We'll take a look at some fall and winter electrical safety tips. Plus, learn more about a candlelight shopping event coming to Geneseo later this weekend. Spotted Apron is taking part and will join us with a preview. But first, it's a wet and gloomy start to the work week. Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland will explain what else is in store after the break.
And now your first alert forecast with Teresa Bryant.
Well, so far today, it's been a gray, windy, soggy day across much of the QCA with rain showers moving through the area. Pretty steady rain through the morning and into the early afternoon hours. And we will continue to see showers and possibly a few storms starting to fire up a little later on this afternoon and continuing into the evening hours. Here's that large swath of rain as it continues to work its way to the north and east. And there's more where that came from, as you can look to the south. All of that lifting north and into our viewing area with some pockets of moderate to heavy rain possible. So while we're seeing a little bit of a break in the action across the southern portions of our viewing area right now, don't expect that to last. Again, starting to see some pockets of heavy rain moving through the Maquoketa area towards Savannah, Galena. Those areas getting some wet weather over the next hour or so. And as I mentioned earlier, after a brief break, more showers and even a few thunderstorms starting to move through our area. At this point, it doesn't look like we're going to see much of a widespread severe weather threat, although some of these storms could become strong and produce some heavy rain and gusty winds. Now, we'll see everything starting to lighten up after midnight and coming to an end early Tuesday morning. After that, looking for some cloud cover through lunchtime and then clearing skies by the afternoon hours. And looking at anywhere from a ½ inch to an 1.5 inches of precipitation totals across parts of the region by early Tuesday morning. So yeah, getting some much needed rain out there. Right now, 62 degrees in the Quad Cities area, readings ranging from 50 in Galena to 63 in Macomb and Keokuk, with winds out of the southeast at about 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts of up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, lows dropping down to 54 degrees, so still pretty mild with a few showers moving through overnight. Temperatures reaching 55 degrees tomorrow, 58 in DeWitt, 55 in Stockton. We'll see a reading of 59 degrees in Muscatine, 60 in Monmouth. Temperatures reaching 59 for your Tuesday as we see some clearing taking place by afternoon. Readings expected to drop dramatically. We're talking highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s and 30s for Wednesday through Sunday. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty chilly one for the Festival of Trees Parade.
Oh, well, that's good to know ahead of time.
Bundle up.
Yeah, I'll get my hand warmers ready to go. All right, Teresa, thank you. It is time now for our wins of the weekend. So it's just a time when we typically like to talk about something cool that happened over the weekend. Yeah. So we won't put you on the spot today, Teresa. It's your first day in a long stretch of filling in for Kyle Keel.
Well, actually, my win is your win as well.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I have a separate one, but we have a special win that we want to talk about as well.
The special win is the one I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly. So mine was just yesterday was kind of like a gloomy, misty day as well. But I finally checked out the new Iron Tea there in Bettendorf, and I hadn't been there before, and I didn't know what to expect. But Darby and I went. And it's a beautiful facility, and she did a great job swinging that golf club yesterday, and she had a blast. Yeah.
Hey.
Right? She was very proud of herself as well.
Yeah, pretty nice form,
very
too.
Proud. Yes. I was just saying, this is really cool, like something that you can do when the weather's not so great. All the bays are covered, and there's heaters in there and everything like that.
Oh, that's fabulous.
That was pretty cool. Now to the win that we can all consider a win, which is why our friend Kyle Keel is not going to be on the show for some time. They are now a family of 5.
Yes.
Sabrina Rose was born. last night, just before 7 p.m. And he was kind enough to send us some photos today of this beautiful baby girl.
She is a little doll baby.
She is a
Oh, my
doll,
goodness.
and I'm thinking right away that she looks like Big Brother Carson.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
like,
I can
right-
see the Keel family genes.
Yeah,
there,
I'm like, she's like, I think we've got another mini Kyle on our hands here. 'Cause the middle Chandler looks just like, you know, her mom. Anyways,
Rosalie,
he said, yes, mom and baby are doing great.
Oh.
So we are just, you know, big congratulations to Kyle and the entire family.
Yes, I cannot wait to hold her.
I know.
Yeah, I know. She
She's
is just a cutie pie.
Adorable, about 6 pounds, just a little peanut. So
Yes.
cute. Yeah, so congratulations. We're going to miss you, but enjoy that time, you know, together as a family. Well, still to come on QCL, the electric doctor is paying us a visit and providing some safety tips to keep in mind for these fall and winter months.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
As our temperatures drop and we transition from fall to winter, there are some additional safety hazards to keep in mind. It's important that our electrical practices adapt to the changing seasons. Jeff Lanham is a master electrician with the Electric Doctor, and he is here with some essential tips to keep our families safe during these colder months. Jeff, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for
having me
being
in.
here. Yes, so much to get to and talk about. But you are very experienced, I think just decades of doing this. So you know that small mistakes can sometimes lead to some pretty decent consequences.
They do. They do. Yeah.
Okay.
So I brought a whole bunch of things to go over here today. I'm going to start over there by you, if that's okay. So,
yes.
The first thing to think about is you change your clocks, change your batteries. So, you know, things on your smoke detectors and things like this.
Right.
Just, you know, change your battery, get these things freshened up. I'm not going to push the button here, but you can push the little button
loud.
and make sure that they're still working. Oops.
We might be, yeah.
Yeah. And so make sure they work for you. Make sure you're safe from fires, things like that too. So the biggest thing that we run into is people start putting those room heaters in, electric heaters.
Yeah, those
and stuff
space
like that.
heaters.
Right.
I have one under my desk in the newsroom.
Oh boy, that's.
Jeff does not approve.
They're not allowed. They're not allowed. Only because of all the problems that I've run into.
Yeah.
And we run into them not just like every year. We run into them like weekly.
Oh, wow.
And what people don't realize is when you use the wrong cord for the application, it puts a stress onto the receptacle and things like that. And that's where the little fires occur.
Really?
So it's really kind of funny. As I was getting ready for today's segment, I went out and I just looked for some extension cords.
Right.
And this extension cord here, I couldn't believe it, is marked for portable heaters.
Oh.
And as a master electrician, that's an improper cord for a heater, even though it's marked for heaters.
And it's marketed that way.
Yeah, it is. It is. So the consumer really can get confused about what they're buying and what they're for.
Yeah.
So it's a 16 gauge cord. I'm not going to get wrapped up in all the semantics and everything, but it's
right
a
over my head.
16 gauge cord. But it depends on the size heater and things like that. That's why in my house specifically, we don't really use room
You don't
heaters.
use them at all. No, that makes sense, especially with your background and your knowledge. Why you wouldn't want to do that. I think a lot of people think the heater itself, like the actual heater, is the problem, which it absolutely can be. But when you talked about other little fires starting elsewhere because of it, I don't think a lot of people realize that.
No. And go ahead. Oh yeah, my little Clark
What do we got
Griswold
here?
thing
This
here.
looks like an actual Christmas tree.
It is. So what I did is I mocked up just a big mess. But you wouldn't believe how we do run into these. So people buy these simple little triple taps. They plug them in and they plug. They think that's really great.
Then they plug one of these in.
Yeah, they plug it into there, and then they think, well, if I got one more, I'll put one more on. Next thing you know, you got some sort of Christmas arrangement like this, which when it heats up and gets on fire,
So
could be
that's not good.
It's not good. So we don't recommend this. What you should do is call a qualified electrician, get some additional outlets installed for you so that they're properly installed and they're UL approved. You know, using these occasionally is not a bad solution, but I really would recommend if you got like one wall outlet, go ahead and get a second and a third or whatever you need.
That is a much safer option.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Holiday decorations, and you know, we're talking about outdoor decorations and indoor decorations. So we don't want to overload, as we mentioned right here, on outlets and things like that. That's a big one. This is an outdoor.
That's an outdoor outlet. So I'm gonna oh, I did open it before we started. So this should be on the outside of your house.
Okay.
And so this is a GFCI. That's those little ones that trip like in your kitchen or bathroom.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're saving your life, so it's okay that they trip.
Okay.
But they should be on the outside of the house. This is called an in-use cover. And so there's a couple different types. This one's expandable, kind of like an accordion, kind of cute little deal. And then I got this one here, which is a little bit glossier and shinier, but that way you can put your cord in and close the cover.
And still close
that
it.
way Mother Nature doesn't get into your cord and things like that. And now, ironically, just this weekend, just yesterday, I just had a service call for one of these that was burnt up because the cover was not
not all the way.
Yeah,
You know what though? That's so important to say because I think a lot of people have the older ones where it just rests on top, like there is no way for it to fully close.
Right.
And they think it's fine because why would they make them if it weren't fine? But it's not necessarily fine. So if you have the opportunity to get a little bit of a safer one.
So this is the National Electrical Code that looks out for us all the time. These are required by code, and so that's why they make these, is to help us people that don't know.
Right, like me.
Right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Right, so,
oh my goodness. Well, you can always call the Electric Doctor at the number on your screen, 563-823-4188. And for a look at services or any current promotions, just visit the website, electricdoctor.com. As always, a pleasure having you here. So much knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
I'll come back again.
Oh, good. We love that.
Right.
Still to come on QCL, a Geneseo business specializing in oils, vinegars, spices, and more. We're going to learn about a spotted apron after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Delicious food begins with delicious ingredients. That's actually the inspiration behind a spotted apron. This Geneseo business offers high-quality cooking oils, vinegars, spices, and can show you how to cook with them. Kimberly Schwarzkopf is the owner, and she is joining us now. Kim, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So give us a little bit of background on your story. Right before we started this segment, you said you got started in business in 2021.
Correct.
What led up to that? What made you want to do this?
So I've always been a foodie. Our whole family likes to cook. So on vacation, we would go to shops that had oils and vinegars and spices, and we would try and taste and smell. And so when I retired from John Deere, this is my business now that I started, and it's been just such a blessing to me. So
that's amazing. And I love that you've kind of, you've honed in and focused on that, the oils, the vinegars, the spices, because that can really make a difference in any dish.
Absolutely. And the spices that I make, I do not make the olive oils and vinegars. I dispense those.
Spices.
But I make the spice blends. There's no additives, no preservatives, so it's all natural, gluten-free. None of the words that you can't pronounce are as part of the ingredients.
That's great. So you grow everything that's.
We grow some. We use them for fresh when I sell fresh, but I use too many to grow. We live in town and have a small yard, so there's no way I could grow everything that I need.
That's amazing that you put all of this stuff together. So when we talk about oils and vinegars, you have more than I actually knew existed, which I think is so cool. So where do you source those from?
So the spices come from all over the world. I have a couple of importers that I get them from. And then we grow a few that we share in the summertime. The oils and vinegars, most of the oils come from Spain. I have one from Portugal, and the rest of the vinegars all come from Italy.
Wow, amazing. Very cool. Yes, there is a long list of items. If you were to visit the website, you can see really everything that Kim has to offer. It's incredible. And you actually made some items today as well.
I did. So what we have here is a really simple appetizer. It's naan bread with cream cheese, and the topping it's a curried mango chutney.
Yum.
So it's apricot jam, mango puree, my curry powder, which again is gluten-free and it's all natural. And then we just mix that together with the honey ginger balsamic and the lemon olive oil, and you can put it on top of the naan bread. It's also good for a glaze, like for pork chops or chicken, if you wanted to do that.
Oh my gosh, I bet. Can I try it?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. While I'm trying this, will you tell us all about this? Because tis the season, and we are always looking for great gift ideas.
Yes.
I love this right here.
So this is an Advent box that I had designed, and it holds the 60 milliliter bottles or one of the spice bags. And you can get that for your loved one that's a foodie. You can do all spices, you can do all oils and vinegars, or
really?
you can do a mix of either one. So it's just kind of a fun thing. Every day you open up a little box there and you have a surprise that you can try to.
I love an advent calendar, and especially an advent calendar that includes something that you can really use every single day.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And this is another gift item here.
Yeah, so those are just some of the spice blends that I make in bigger jars, and this one is a grilling box. So if you've got someone in your family that is really, or excuse me, I think that's the taco box.
Taco, yes, I love that.
Tacos, if you like tacos, that's a great box to have. This is a pizza pan, pizza cutter, then you've got your olive oil and Italian blend and Greek blend that are just good spices for pizza.
Oh my gosh, you really do. You have it all. You're located in Geneseo,
Yes.
and just last Friday you held a candlelight shopping event with some other
Yes.
businesses. You know, in case anybody missed it, this is something that you will do and that you do quite often.
It is. So, and if you, I think you're going to share my phone number or a website.
Yes, we will.
You can contact me if you want some private shopping, or you can visit me. Not this Saturday and Sunday, but next, I guess Friday and Saturday at the Winter Wonderland Market in East Moline at the Expo Center.
Yeah.
Or Geneseo Farmers Market during the Christmas walk on the 14th of December.
Amazing.
So,
well, we have all the information on the screen for anybody that is curious right now. You also do workshops from time to time. I just want to make sure that people know that you do cooking classes.
cooking classes and catering.
Amazing. Okay, so if you want to learn more about the products offered at A Spotted Apron, just visit the website, easy, aspottedapron.com, or give them a call at the number that's right there at the bottom of your screen. With 20 seconds left, I have to say, this is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making this today and being here on the show.
Thank you so
We really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Your local news at 4 is up next.